In the age-old battle between superstar Rajinikanth and Ulaganayagan Kamal Hassan is always portrayed as the Ashdavadani, which is something like multi-talented, whereby Kamal has done various roles, for example, singing, directing the film. He even was a dance master assistant in his earlier years. So it's always portrayed like that. But many do not realize that Rajinikanth himself has a lot of strong script sense, very visual style of storytelling. He is not a great singer, but he has sung a song also in the film Mannan. So one can't simply discount Rajinikanth like that. And his contribution to story notes and script discussion played a big role in success of films like Padayappa. And of course, every scene he enters, he really always adds to it until if you see Rajinikanth in a frame, even as a villain, he will steal the show and the crowd will be cheering for the villain, right? In fact, he was given all those so-called unwanted roles in the beginning, and even he shone despite that, and hence became a hero. So recently, in an interview, hero Sarath Kumar, yesterday hero Sarath Kumar, well, he's sort of having a second round nowadays. I will try to share the link to that Sarath Kumar interview in the description below in this video, whereby he told this event whereby Rajinikanth had an interest in making a dual hero subject, buddy cop or a cop thriller with Sarath Kumar. Of course, this was before all these poor Tolil and all these kind of things. Yeah, Rajinikanth is oftentimes ahead of the curve compared to other people. So Sarath Kumar just described the way Rajini narrated the story, and some people are so good at storytelling. I mean, you all seen how Rajinikanth talks in audio launches that you feel drawn into a movie despite the person just using the words to describe a story. So the way Sarath Kumar told the story itself makes you think that wow, this is a movie that should be made. For whatever reason, it did not go through. But one interesting thing I noticed was that using the word harbor. So I wonder whether it's coincidence or Rajinikanth has an input in the harbor setup of the film Coolie. Well, anyway, this is how Rajinikanth told the story to hero Sarath Kumar, whereby he says the scene opens in a harbor, okay, whereby at the beginning of it, you see a harbor, and then there's this row of multiple black cars, I don't know, Mercedes or some black cars, all stopping, and the camera zooms into a figure wearing a lungi and sitting and lighting up a bidi. The light of the BD shows the outline of Sarath Kumar's face. So that's the intro to Sarath Kumar. And the camera suddenly zooms in. A big group of character comes out of I'm not sure the cars or the some container from the area, and they all ask Sarath Kumar who will be the best person to investigate this particular case. And Sarath Kumar says Rajini name's character, right? He says he can't remember the name. Okay, let's say it's Ashok. Okay, Inspector Ashok of London Police, something like this. And then the camera goes over the water and immediately into a building in London, and then shows the legs, and then eventually you see superstar Rajinikanth in London. So that's how more or less I'm not 100% telling how Sarath Kumar describes it. It was even better, but that's sort of how he mentioned it, and so it seemed like a very interesting potential cop thriller story. Again, poor Tolil and Sarath Kumar acted in such films, so a lot of idea exchange occurs. Sometimes idea from person A can go to B, B to A. All these things happen in the film industry. So definitely we wonder it could have been a very interesting buddy cop kind of a story, with Sarath having his own way of own macho way of playing his role, and Rajinikanth coming in with swag and style. It could have been a nice movie, right? Now the fact that Sarath Kumar is the same person who triggered the Rajini Vijay clash on stage is well known. So as we all know, Rajini forgives people a lot, from Manorama to Sarath Kumar. So for him, people throwing stones when it's convenient for them, and being friendly when it's convenient for them, he has seen it all. But this interview also triggered in me some thoughts about other projects of Rajini that was dropped. He had some projects that are dropped for various reasons, but many times his reason for dropping turns out that the film was never good anyway. Good example is Jagubai with K.S. Ravikumar. Rajini felt was too similar to Basha kind of a vibe, and later K.S. Ravikumar released a film called Jagubai, but we're not sure if the story is 100% the same with Sarath Kumar again. But that film did not do so well. And then again, we all know how Rara, the historical project with again K.S. Ravikumar, did not move forward. But that film, I think, could have been the Bahubali. It was unfortunate turn of events, but anyway, bygones be bygones. In 1992, we are jumping years now. In 1992, after Talapati, there was a lot of talk about Mani Ratnam collaborating with Rajinikanth for a James Bond type film to be shot in East Africa, among other places. Later they say it's just an April Fool joke, but that news never went away, and even as recently as last year, the website SIMA, SIIMA, released a news saying Mani Ratnam and Rajinikanth will collaborate again. However, that news is now on the back burner. Latest news is Karthik Subbaraj being the front running. After that, the movie Ejaman by R.V. Uday Kumar, who was a famous director in that era of 90s. Supposedly actually something called Jilla Collector, very modern story, and R.V. Uday Kumar is overconfident, some might say super confident first director, who narrated a story again involving, he said opening scene he wants 20 helicopters, and AVM said please come up with something practical and budget friendly, and so they went for Village Head, because R.V. Uday Kumar's Village Head film with Vijaykanth sort of did well, so they tried to sort of follow the formula. I've had mixed feeling about Rajini trying to follow formulas. He has tried to do it a few times. Even the Annan Oda Pattu in Chandramukhi was supposed to be some kind of inspired by Gilly Vijay's song Appadi Podu. I prefer he doesn't do it, because I think he's special in his own way. He doesn't need to sort of mimic trends that much. But sometimes we're making trends work and give success, right? Like Jailer's black comedy, for example. So anyway, that's that. Other projects include Indian by Shankar, Mudalwan by Shankar. But interestingly enough, the film Endiran was supposedly Kamal Hassan's project. They even did photo shoots with Preeti Zinta and Kamal Hassan, and eventually it ended up in Rajini's lap. And in the film Indian, you see the Indian Tata flick the hair and all that, so very much written with Rajini in mind, but turned out to be a Kamal project ultimately. But both of them did well, so I think regardless of either of them, the film would have done quite well. Other projects include the Lokesh Kanagaraj initial project. We're not sure if it's the same project as it's now. The Manoj Paramansa, the original cameraman for this new project, Coolie, said it's supposed to be a big undertaking, almost like a 7-movie series with multiple overseas locations and IMAX, but they brought the budget much lower and timeline much shorter. Hollywood producers always looking for a profit, and they're not doing it like Telugu producers and people like Rajamouli. They take 4 or 5 years and give us a huge banger. So unless Hollywood teams learn sacrifice, they will not be able to produce mega pan Indian hits like Bahubali. So maybe I'll continue part 2 about some other drop projects of Rajini if you're interested.